All right, guys, back again for yet another RCO tournament game, joined by Boulevard for the semifinals as well. This time, following Chad on his journey through the top cut here, we have Chad versus Sari. So as we mentioned in the previous video, we have Chad playing Zoe Aphelios with 3 Plaza Guardians teched in there. Pretty cool stuff. We have him also playing Twiz and Tom Raka. On the side of Sari, we have Frostbite Foundry yet again. We also have a little bit of a Aphelios TF, which we actually didn't see a whole lot of in the first day of Swiss. Or actually, this was a one-day tournament, so I should just say in Swiss in general. I know that deck was kind of the hot deck as of late. And to round things out, we have Barrier, which seemingly just does not go away. So, as always, you can find all the tournament info from the Battlefy page in the description below, the deck lists, anything on the players, as well as a Boulevard. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the semifinals of the RCO tournament. All right, just like that, we are getting into the game. So we're going to go ahead and head on over. We have Chad versus Sari getting started here. And this is going to be for the semifinals. It's been a long day, but man, Plaza Guardian doing work today. Let's see if it's able to take home a victory and get Chad into the finals versus Sari. You're going to have to take down Sari to get there. So let's go ahead and head on over.
I was still pulling up the list because, you know, the program was wigging out on me a little bit.
All right, so actually, wow, are we starting off with... Is this a barrier? Oh, no, I thought it was a barrier mirror for a second. I just got super confused. All right, never mind. So, barrier on the side of Sari versus... we just saw this a little bit earlier from Chad. It's going to be the Twiz deck. And, you know, Boulevard, who do you typically got in this particular matchup?
I mean, I would imagine that it's going to go... Okay, so this is actually a matchup I have a little bit of experience in. I've been told that it's supposed to be Shenfiora favored, and Shenfiora is predominantly in the meta because it has the ability to deal with this. I'd say it's pretty close to 50-50, though I do still want to give the advantage to the Twiz deck for the same reason that I give it to it over the Shadow Isle and Freljord decks. You know, we talk about Fizz is just the most consistent deck in Legends of Runeterra right now, for, you know, more or less. Aphelios TF might have something to say about that, but, you know, previously, not much about this matchup has changed because of that. And Shenfiora is a deck that can just brick on itself, and it doesn't have anything that it can do to fix that. If you get a brick hand with Twiz, all you need to do is pick a card or rummage one time, and there's a very good chance that your hand is fixed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And gonna have to pick from some wild cards here. A little bit of a interesting spot. I mean, getting down TF early feels good, but wow, I don't think that's the... It's been a while since I've seen wild cards hovered that long when you play a Twisted Fate. I feel like when everybody plays Twisted Fate, they just know exactly what they're going to play for a wild card right away.
You know, I feel like this is actually the first time we've seen a Twisted Fate live longer than 3 seconds today. For the most part, you and I, we came into a game that had a leveled Twisted Fate, but I don't think we've actually seen one stick around through a full game long enough to actually live in level. Yeah. Most of these are just getting killed on sight, which is sort of the name of the meta right now.
Yep, and for those of you who don't know, TF is using his ult as he does in League of Legends quite frequently nowadays, just teleporting straight into the arena there as he pleases. He does stick in hand for a little bit after being played, and then once, you know, we go in for an attack, it will change. So, for now, Fiora just single combating TF right out of the hand. You know, that's... We joke so many times because I've said in the past so often, you just need to kill the TF before he even hits the field. And we're like literally killing the TF while he's in hand before he even comes down.
So this is one of those situations where Sari might be able to pick this one up. You know, has the Shenfiora combo established, though. Honestly, not too much to back it up. The Relentless Pursuit, I think, is going to be a pretty big blowout, but might have to use it right here, right now, if Chad does go for another Twisted Fate development.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is that point. We have like all spells in hand, right? So I think this is where you just have to rip the Relentless Pursuit to get the value that you can out of it now.
This is probably a gold card.
We'll
Now that
see.
Fiora has more
Yep.
attack than the Shen, I mean, it can be negated by a riposte.
Yeah, but the riposte is going to leave Sorry with not enough mana to play Relentless Pursuit, so we'll see what we do in response to this. If we do Relentless Pursuit in response, I mean, it does push 6 more damage, and it forces potentially a block from the TF. I mean, how worried are we about forcing 6 damage here?
I think it's more important to protect the Fiora. That does feel like sort of your main win con right now. The 6 damage would be nice, but, you know, it might actually, you know, the more I'm kind of thinking about it, the more I'm along the vein of you get to go for a nice open attack after the fact. Or no, that's right, you're not going into the next attack.
Yeah.
I like it a lot less. I like it a lot less.
So my only thing with saving the Fiora is you don't really have. I mean, yeah, sure, you have the barrier with the Shen, you know, on every attack moving forward, and that just good synergy with Fiora. But we don't have any combat tricks in hand yet, and we don't have like a River Shaper to maybe pull one of those from deck. So yeah, sure, Fiora is always going to be a win con, but do you really want to go all in on that Fiora win con right now? And I don't know. I just feel like it's a little risky, especially with how much removal that we do see in this Twiz deck. We see it get excited in hand. There's plenty of Mystic shots in there, so I'm not sure how long this Fiora is actually going to be sticking around.
Yeah, and actually, Sergey in chat pointing out something good. Because Sari used the spell or the barrier onto the Fiora, she lived through the turn with the barrier while the Greenglade Caretaker just died. And you could have just barriered the Caretaker, and it still would have gone up on the attack, still would have eaten the gold card, and would have survived through the barrier. And on 1 mana, I don't think you were really worried about Chad doing anything to finish off that Fiora. So a little bit of a weird line there for Sari. But I actually, do you know what the card all the way to the right in Chad's hand is?
In chat, I guess it's a Zaps Raven.
Okay,
I guess you're welcome, Boulevard. That's what I'm here for.
Came out from right behind the Twisted Fate.
Look, see, this is how you know there's too much draw in this deck. It literally just like breaks the game because it's drawing so many cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's an interaction that most people think about. Or I guess it's not that they don't think about it, but sometimes it can sneak up on you that gold card does change targets. You know, you hover the eye, you see the target, but then the second you change the board state, that gold card is going to switch.
Yeah.
And, you know, sorry, missed that. And it's unfortunate because that would have been a big difference, I think, especially with this Relentless Pursuit in hand.
And we might get that Relentless this turn, as you were constantly alluding to.
Got to play it when you can, man.
Yeah, and I think it's actually going to be a really big swing for Sari, because is this Shen at 3 out of 5 or 3 out of 4 rather? I feel like it is.
Well, yes, it is, and actually even have the 5 mana to play the Nopify alongside the Shen, which means any of these spells like this. Okay, well, it's not going to matter anymore, but okay, that's an additional blocker. That's actually very, very important. I do like that on the side of Chad, probably recognizing that there may very well be a Relentless Pursuit in the hand of Sari. And actually, I'm curious how many. Looks like Sari is actually playing 2 Relentless Pursuit. Okay, so there is a shot that we get another one at some point.
Yeah, we'd mentioned earlier in the day that Shen Fiora is constantly going up on Relentless Pursuits too. As weird as this sounds, kind of counteract the Frostbite in the meta, which we explained earlier. It's not super relevant here, so I'm not going to re-explain it. But going in for the 7 damage, and then I think you're right. This is where, I mean, oh man, this Fiora is at 3 out of 4, and Chad, I don't think. No, I mean, Chad does have the capability to live through and kill this Fiora next turn, assuming Sari doesn't top deck anything else, which does actually feel a little unlikely. We have the Mystic Shot Get Excited to clear out the barrier and still kill the Fiora, or at the very least, it's only going to actually take 1 spell to pop the barrier. So one of them is going to get notified, the other's going to pop the barrier. That's going to kill the Fiora as she rams into a unit. So barring a Sharp Sight top deck from Sari, might be good here.
Yeah, and when is the last time we've seen a TF die and not level up while having 7 out of 8 procs on his level up? That's so close and yet so far for Chad not being able to level that Twisted Fate. So really, I mean, just great for Sari being able to finally pick that bad boy off. And I think, yeah, is this just game on the kill here? I think it is.
No. We have Mystic
Okay.
Shot, that gets notified. We get excited. That actually pops the barrier and kills the Fiora.
Yeah.
But we are losing a lot of our board here. And actually, we might not even go for that. We do have the Riposte Lethal lined up with the Brightsteel Protector as well. Or even a Stand United if we want to get really cheeky with it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But I think first it's going to be
Yep.
the Notify and then the Riposte.
Yeah, because the Get Excited going to hit the Fiora. That's going to put Chad down to 2 mana. And at that point, not really anything you could do about a 6 attack Brightsteel Protector with Barrier at that point. It's just going to be lethal. And it does look like Sorry going to be able to get the better of Chad here in this first matchup. And this Barrier deck. Oh, he's the style points. The style points with the Stand United instead, because why the hell not? And we're actually going to do 10 to face and finish off this first game 1 up on Chad so far. And yeah, I mean, this is why we see people play Barrier. It just has okay matchups versus so many decks, Boulevard.
Yeah, we talk about how little removal there is running around, or the removal that there is kind of inefficient, especially onto a Fiora, and doesn't get around Sharp Sight or Riposte or anything like that. It can be a really daunting task to kill Fiora, who, for the history of Legends of Runeterra, we've described this deck as sometimes the game looks very winnable if only you can get that Fiora off the field, and it is just an impossible mountain to climb, an immovable wall, if you will, and that's what Chad ran into here. A Fiora that just could not be killed, and the Stand United for the style points, as you had mentioned, going to pick up a quick actual Nexus lethal instead of the Fiora wincon.
All right, here we go. Getting into game 2 now. Chad and Sorry. I mean, technically it was still a Fiora wincon, right? I mean, the Fiora hit the Nexus for lethal, I guess. All right, and now we got the Puff Caps. Frostbite Foundry going up against this Aphelios deck on the side of the Chad, or as I have dubbed it, the Plaza Guardian deck, because that is what it is.
I mean, we did just see Chad pick up a win in this matchup, but let me check, because Sorry, what champions are you running?
Not
Sorry?
Sejuani. Oh, no, yeah, one Sejuani, yep.
Okay, so on a similar list to Real Key.
Which, honestly, that Sejuani is what I think kept Real Key in this matchup.
100%.
So I do think it's going to be a card that Sorry's going to need in order to stick around in this one too, and avoid going to a game 3.
It's, you know, when I've talked to players about the Ezreal versus Sejuani debate, the general consensus seems to be that Sejuani handles random stuff better, and Plaza Guardian Aphelios definitely feels like it falls under the category of random stuff to me.
Well, Puff Cap coming down early, so this is definitely a different start than what Real Key had, because Real Key did not have Shrooms going in the deck for quite some time, and it does not.
No, it was a while before we got that Shroom plan going on.
Yeah, it does not seem to be the case right now for Sorry. So yeah, we're even going to get the ignition. So this seems like an amazing start, honestly, for Sorry with all these ignitions. We have some Frostbite to protect. We have even a Troll Chant. Like, this is a little bit of everything, and you even have the Thermo Beams to fall back on if we do need to get rid of something like an Aphelios that comes down.
Which we might. This Aphelios is going to be Chad's sort of out here, trying to get that Calibrum cycle going, taking care of the Ballistic bots and the Puff Cap Peddlers, because, Sorry, I think this might actually be one of the first times that we haven't seen a Hexcore Foundry really early on, at least available to one of the Puff Cap players. And without that going, these Frostbites look a lot more useless if you don't have a Puff Cap Peddler going alongside them to make sure that it's going a little bit better. But Zoe picked up off the top.
Yeah, I can't stress enough how big 2 Ballistic bots, early on, for really any deck nowadays. Ballistic bot is just like one of the beast cards of the format right now. And, getting those 2 ignitions is actually a really big deal. I mean, we're able to not only trigger the Nightfall of Aphelios, but also have an additional, discard target for something like Poro Cannon. Like, it just does so much for the deck having 2 of those in hand to start. And yeah, there's the Calibrum that you were talking about. Always prioritizing that sweet, sweet Puff Cap Peddler there. Nobody liking the Shrooms. He's just a man trying to peddle his Puff Caps, man. Nobody likes him. Nobody's letting him do his thing.
Well, he's been meddling a little bit too long. I know he says he's a peddler, not a meddler, but I don't believe him.
He is in fact
got
meddling.
Shifty eyes. Looks around too much. I don't trust this man. He's shady. But we are going to survive the turn thanks to that troll chant. But that is all the protection that we have for the Puffcap Peddler for the time being.
Yeah, and this is where I think things get dicey for this deck going up against Chad's Plaza deck, right? Because this is, I really gotta stop calling it Plaza Guardian deck. This is like we don't really, the cards in Sari's hand just don't make a big impact, right? Like, sure, you can get rid of Aphelios, great, feels all right, but then like what else are you doing? Like then you still have to worry about these ballistic bots on the field. You still have to worry about Zoe coming down. You still, like, there's just so many more options on the side of Chad than what Sari has. Sari's, you know, strategy very one-dimensional. We know what Sari wants to do. Chad just constantly turn by turn having so many different options at his disposal.
This turn not having a whole lot of options, though, gonna have to use that suit up to save the Aphelios, but you know, very luckily does have the top deck suit up. I believe this is a 3 damage thermo, so we are going to be able to protect the Aphelios, and that's going to demand either another thermo beam or a mystic shot out of Sari to finish that off later. But Sari has the 3 thermogenic beams, so, you know, has these options available to them. And unfortunately for Chad, not going to be able... Oh, actually didn't go for Gravitum. That is a Severum. Yep. Which, you know, makes sense. You still get back to Calibrum in the same amount of guns, so it's not like you need to be skipping to try and accelerate into a different one just because of that, you know, you get to skip every other kind of thing.
All right, so as we top deck another flight, I will say the one card that I'm kind of disappointed we haven't really seen do too much. I think it actually was able to trade as an elusive blocker at some point, but the flight... I think all the games we've seen Chad play today with this deck, I've yet to see it actually get a Nexus Strike off. I
feel like he got like a turn 1 hit off in a different game, but that was like the last time the flight actually did it.
Yeah, I think, what was it, like the first game of the day, I think, actually, with him?
Something like that, yeah. Just threw it out, attack turn 1.
But I don't know. I'm really curious to see if this makes a difference, and it just doesn't seem like it's made too much of a difference yet. But hey, we could be proven wrong. We got 2 of them now. We do have, you know, Teemo and Ezreal in the deck of Sari, so it does offer up some great elusive blockers if it does come down to it. And honestly, you know, with how much emphasis everybody's putting on elusive units, I gotta say, being able to spend 1 mana to basically shut down an elusive attack does feel really good. Even if you're just straight up throwing the flight to the wind and like it just dies to an Ezreal, you still feel pretty good about getting rid of that Ezreal's Nexus Strike and disallowing that Mystic Shot generation, and also putting the Ezreal down to 1. Like, it still feels like a really impactful 1 mana.
Yeah, and speaking of impactful, this is a really impactful attack out of Chad. Yeah. Has the full 6 units on board. Ezreal going to come down as a Zoe blocker. And we still have the Gravitum on the side of Chad. And
Pale Cascade.
We're only going to be able to... Yeah.
That looks pretty good, too. If it blocks the flight, that's going to kill the Ezreal and save the flight. I mean, we have the Flash Freeze and the Brittle Steel, so there are, and even the Mystic Shot if we wanted to. And I think at this point, Sari has to block with the Ezreal, right? I mean, that's too much damage.
It is the safer line, for sure. And here we're going to see the Ballistic Bot take the trade. And man, I mean, like I said earlier today, anytime that you get to actually attack with the Ballistic Bot, you feel like that's a game that you're in a really good position for. You feel like you're winning that game. And it looks like we're actually just not going to block the flights, which does mean that's going to be 8 damage coming through for Chad, who's going to get an additional 2 draw, as well as if he wants to, you know, push it to 10 damage by playing out both Ignitions.
The only thing with these flights is... Oh, we could actually save this Ballistic Bot with the Pale Cascade, too, if we wanted, but okay, no. The thing with the flights, though, is, I mean, do we really want to draw? I mean, this is Frostbite Foundry, after all. Like, there are Puff Caps in the deck, and granted, there's not a lot right now. These flights might actually come back to bite us.
Actually, the flights are going to... it's kind of weird, right? Because the flights don't have mushrooms attached to them. So the chances that you're actually going to draw any Puff Caps next turn is very low because there's 2 flights in your top 3.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Because, like, I wonder what the overall benefit is of that. Because technically you at least guarantee 1 turn of not drawing a Shroom. But then you're also drawing a card anyways to draw a Shroom. That, like, it's weird to really think about it. But we are at least going to remove the Aphelios.
How close is this Ezreal to leveling, SJW?
It looks like we're at 4 out of 6. So, and actually, yeah, that's going to put it at 5 out of 6. So we only need 1 more. We have it in hand. I don't know how much that's really going to get done with how little of a hand we have, but again, Hexcore Foundry on the field, and that is going to help Sorry at least, get back into the swing of things a bit here in the next turn.
Sorry is in a bit of a rough spot, actually. Not going to be able to push through an Ezreal attack ever, really. The Daring Poros are good chump blockers. I mean, I guess a good way to say it is they're cannon fodder. You get it? Because in the Daring Poro art, it's getting fired out of a cannon.
Wow. First the swimming puns, and now cannon fodder. All right. Look at you today. Look at you today. All right. So lots of, it's so crazy to me how many cheap spells. And this is honestly a lot of decks that we're seeing this where there's just so many cheap cards in the deck. Technically, Plaza Guardian, I guess, isn't cheap, but it will be. And
it's down to 3 mana, or is that two? Even 2 mana.
It's probably going to get played for free this turn or next turn. Honestly, with these flights coming back too, this is just going to continue to push more and more and more damage going wide with the elusives. And then on top of Plaza Guardian coming down, possibly another Daring Poro. We even have the suit up, so whatever does potentially get frostbitten or something next turn on the side of Sorry to potentially just save lethal damage or something. We've seen these suit ups honestly come in huge so many times, reverting a frostbite. You frostbite a 3-attack elusive unit, now suddenly it's 4-attack because of a suit up. It feels really bad.
I love suit up, and I'm so upset that there's some people that are cutting this down to like one-ofs or cutting it from the deck entirely. I think for the most part right now, everybody is back on 3 suit up, maybe 2, but definitely playing the card. It's not getting cut as much anymore. Outside of, there was one TF Ezreal in, was it Top Cut or just in Swiss that we saw?
Are you talking about the last tournament?
No, this one. We saw one TF Ezreal, and that only runs 1 suit up. Yeah, this
last round.
I think it was like
last round of Swiss. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that ran a suit up. I didn't even know that ran a suit up actually. So
it ran 1 suit up, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like the card too, honestly. It just does so. I mean, anything that's, I guess if any deck that's playing smaller units, it's always going to be a good card. And the fact that its burst speed is pretty insane. When you think about something like Fury of the North, which was technically a +4/+4 for 4 mana, it's obviously not the same thing, but it functions similarly, right? So.
Sometimes it is.
Yeah, it like Frostbite. Like, we're seeing the rise in Frostbite when you're going up against Frostbite. Yeah, it definitely is. It's the same exact thing, essentially.
Ooh, this is going to be a scary turn for Chad, though. The Ezreal is leveled. We have a lot of ways to turn off aggression on the side of Sorry between the Flash Freeze and the Troll Chant. Each of those is going to represent an additional 2 damage. And I don't think Chad's going to be able to kill through this, but this is still a PNZ deck. There's a decent amount of burn here. We've got this Get Excited in hand. We've still got the 1 Ignition and actually just going in for the open. Not going to iterative this Plaza Guardian.
Wow.
Which, I'm not going to lie, seems a little weird to me.
Yeah, especially when you have 2 iterative improvements.
Maybe it's possible that we're worried about the Sejuani. I don't know if she's leveled, but if she is leveled and comes down and then Ezreal just throws out any spell and we get hit in the Nexus and all of our board is frostbitten, I guess that's what Chad was playing around.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't personally see any reason to not play double iterative and just go. I mean, Harsh Winds, I guess, shuts that down, but like Harsh Winds still shuts this down too. So I don't. Yeah, it just seems a little weird to me. Now we got to see how Chad's gonna deal with this Ezreal.
If Chad wants to, they can Hail Cascade and Get Excited to kill the Ezreal, but I think we are at a point where we want to save that Get Excited for face if we can.
Yeah, right now we're only representing 2.
Maybe you can't.
2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, with Suit Up and Get Excited, you have game. If you suit up the Plaza Guardian, that's going to be 4, 5, 6. Oh, no. Yeah.
We don't have a Suit Up.
I thought we had a Suit Up. Why did I think we have a Suit Up?
No, we used Suit Up last turn, I think.
Unless is it hidden? Is it hidden?
Where's the
Am I
Suit
imagining
Up?
things? Damn, this game!
Is there a
playing
Suit Up?
tricks on us? I thought there was. These cards just hide now. Like it's the ultimate challenge for a caster.
Did Did we suit up a Plaza? No, that's a 2 attack, right?
No,
I'm
that's
not crazy.
just Pale Cascade and something else. So, okay, this is risky.
Drawing a lot of mushrooms,
Yeah.
too.
Man, I would have really liked to see that iterative improvement. I hope that Chad doesn't lose because of not iterativing those Plaza Guardians. Like, I think that would have been game.
I think... actually, with the second... Oh, no, we're ignitioning.
We could play the... Oh, no, we can't play the Ballistic. Yeah, it wouldn't matter either way.
Probably just going to throw down a Daring Poro as an Ezreal blocker here. Because you cannot let Ezreal touch the Nexus. Ezreal touches the Nexus, it's game over.
Yeah, there's only 4 Puff Caps left in Chad's deck, so it's not terrible. The problem is, going into the next turn, we're going to get the 2 Chump Wump Shrooms. So we kind of sort of have to... Like, we can't afford to draw into next turn and then draw another turn after that, because then I do think we lose. Especially with Ballistic Bot coming down on the side of Sari, which I imagine we're going to see played here, because that's a guaranteed 2 damage to start the turn, unless there's some sort of response to kill this Ezreal.
Sari's got a lot of options in terms of actually winning the game off the top with this Ezreal.
Wow.
You know, just throw down Chump Bump in the first priority sequence. If we find 2 freezes, that's lethal.
I don't see... Why would we not play the Ballistic Bot? Okay, there we go. That was...
Oh, for sorry, that makes more sense. I was like, I thought we established that Chad only had 1 mana, but is going to play an elusive blocker. But, you know, very worth noting, Chad did have a kill onto the Ezreal with the Pale Cascade and the Get Excited and opted not to go for it.
All right, now that... Oh. All right, I think we burst speed Rummage here so that...
This is lethal for... Sorry.
Oh, yeah, it is. Well... Okay, well, then, if we, I think we have to burst speed Rummage, right? And we just try to draw into Get Excited or Mystic Shot, right?
Yeah, I think whoever acts first with the fast spell loses.
Yes.
But
oh, there it is. There's 2 of them. We have it.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, we've got it. We still need to play another unit here, but I don't think we actually can because we need to hold all the mana. Actually, it's only 1 damage coming in from the Ballistic Bot. I don't think that's a difference maker here. Oh, wait. But it might be actually because of the attack into the ignition. I don't really want to get into the nuances of it, but I think unless Chad plays a unit, Sari can come out on top of the priority sequences.
I don't know.
Actually, if Chad does it in combat, Sari can't beat that, right?
I think so,
if Chad just throws everything face... Yeah, if we do it in response to the ignition, that should do it, right?
Yeah, because then we can do 3 to face with Mystic Shot, 4-5 with the 2 Shrooms.
Yeah, Sari only has 5, yeah. So this should be it for Chad, assuming that they don't let this resolve, which I think when you're coming down to the situation where, yeah, your opponent is playing out Burn and you are too, we are going to just the Mystic Shot.
Wait, what? What?
Trying to see if we can get Sari to bait out more Burn, but that's not how this works.
No, Chad. I'm pretty sure Chad just lost.
No, Chad's fine. Chad's fine.
Are you oh, actually, okay, wait.
Yeah, so now I throw Get Excited,
okay.
You throw Mystic Shot, I throw Get Excited
back.
Okay,
we're still good.
All right, Chad still got it. Had a sweat in there for a second, but the way that everything works out, Chad's still going to have this no problem. Unless we throw both Get Excited on the stack, which honestly at this point in the day,
anything could happen.
Nothing would surprise me. So,
yep. All right. Cool. Here we go.
Yeah, gonna be the Puff Caps followed by the Mystic Shot and the Get Excited turnaround. Wow. So we are gonna get a game 3. Unless you didn't update the scoreboard. Why did I feel like this was game 3?
This was game 2.
This is not game 3. We still have to play this versus the Shen Fiora.
Yes, we do have to take home a victory versus Shen Fiora, and that is going to be a tough task. I mean, we've talked all day about how Shen Fiora has pretty decent matchups.
No, we don't. It's going to be Fizz Twisted Fate versus Foundry.
Oh, yeah, no. The Shen Fiora already picked up a win. Yeah, and Foundry just lost. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Foundry versus Fizz Twisted Fate, which is a matchup that we've seen a couple. Mm-hmm. Actually, I don't know how many times we've seen that today. For the most part, when we see Foundry, it's like a Foundry mirror. I don't think we've actually seen, if any, TF Fizz versus Foundry today. Or when we did, I think it actually went the way of the TF Fizz just from sort of a mediocre start on the side of the Foundry player. But we'll see how Sari can do it here. And this could be Chad's first finals appearance. Yeah,
here we go. Chad, it's been a long time coming. Been in plenty of tournaments, plenty of OLSs, plenty of top cuts.
And we're back into the same game.
Oh wait, is this the really? I hate when it does that. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, hold on. All right, here we go. Now, oops. Oh,
Oops.
well, hey, here we go. I'm going to do it, Boulevard. I accidentally clicked exit game, which means I have to log back in. I'm going to do it.
Oh,
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Oh, you're
I'm
gonna
going to do it. Oh, wait.
I'm so proud of you.
Stay signed in. Wait, there's an alert. Okay, cool. See, that's what it was. It's that extra alert that I had to click was all that extra time that I was saving the whole time.
Uh-huh. Yep.
All right.
You're gonna die an old man now.
Yeah, right. All right. I am officially staying logged in to Legends of Runeterra, ladies and gentlemen. It's happening. All right. Here we go. Chad Stride. Let's get going here. And it does look like we are still not loading up the game for some reason. Oh, did it not let me? It let me spectate before. Isn't Sorry on a different region?
He is, but Chad's streaming on Twitch as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab that. I don't know. So it actually let me watch the game last game.
Yeah, it's weird sometimes. We know that. Ugh. Y'all can't see it right now, but SJW just pulled up Twitch light mode.
All right, really? You got to comment on everything about everything? All right, here we go. Dark theme.
Only I mean, I've roasted you for light mode before.
Yeah, I know everybody has.
Yeah, dark mode.
I usually use dark mode, but I don't know. All right, here we go. We're back. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We got it. All right.
And it looks like we've got a really early suited up Poro going in at Sorry, who is establishing double puff cap peddler. And there's no Aphelios or Get Excited in the hand of Chad, at least that I saw before SJW pulled up the bracket in front of the hand, where we see that Hellscreamer has moved on to the finals.
Hey, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I told you so. I think Overwhelm. It's making a play. It's making a play at the meta.
You were the one that said, "Oh, we need to catch Hellscreamer in top 8 because I don't know if he's going to be able to make it past top 8."
Hey, I just wanted to make sure we guaranteed seeing Hellscreamer. But I told you I was really impressed with Cephalopod's lineup last night, and I think Hellscreamer probably basically just net decked the damn thing, and that was really, really smart because it's a really good lineup, and I think it's going to be a shift in the meta finally.
How big of a shift are we talking? We talking total shift? We talking partial shift, like the door is ajar?
I'm talking maybe there's some arguments to be made that Twisted Fate isn't as broken as everybody is thinking Twisted Fate is. Maybe. Because maybe it's going to start to shift away from him. But I'm not ready to make that claim yet because Twisted Fate is still really good. So
let's say, remember SJW, there are some hills I'm willing to kill you on.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right, so Ballistic Bot going to come down for Sorry. Getting it going with 2 puff cap peddlers on field is a really big deal.
Chad is just like the god of double Ballistic Bot.
Yep. I know, I feel like we see them on field every single game.
You're constantly on a 10-turn clock because Chad will just double ignition you every turn.
Well, I mean, honestly, Sorry, though, getting 2 puff cap peddlers down with a Ballistic Bot is probably better, arguably. Especially if you're getting multiple turns off with it, so...
Yeah, we're even firing off a pick a card. This is a dangerous game that Chad is playing, but one that he needs to play. There's still a lot to be found here. We need to be able to get down these big Plaza Guardians or set up for a really nice mind meld.
Yeah, I am really liking how this looks for Sorry. Especially because it still seems like there's no way to deal with these puff cap peddlers. We could Twisted Fate red card into a Mystic Shot, I guess, but that's basically your whole turn, so that's only one of them. Yeah, this is going well for Sorry. I mean, we're finally going to start to see a lot of shrooms come online, which we didn't really see last game.
It looks like we're contemplating gold card or red card or whatever we want to do here. The blue card is a little bit dicey when your opponent has this many peddlers and your TF's probably not long for this world. Oh, but we go for the blue card anyway, see what we can draw. Maybe just valuing the spell. I mean, the red and the gold aren't particularly appealing here. You would still have to combine it with a Mystic Shot to be able to kill anything, but I do think there was value in getting that Ezreal off the field.
Mm. I love this.
But maybe through the troll chance and the Elixir of Iron's just deciding, hey, it's not a play that is worth going for. I'm just going to take my spell mana and my free card.
I love that every time. I told you, what was it? Maybe 8 weeks ago, I started saying Twisted Fate. It comes down. Oh wow, it's actually going to be on the Poro. I was going to say we're immediately seeing it on the blue card. I feel like lately I've been seeing a lot more people just put Mystic Shot on the stack to a blue card to just instantly kill the Twisted Fate.
Yeah.
It's a lot more common nowadays. Here we go.
Got a leveled Fizz.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Fizz not immune to Frostbite.
Yeah, those burst speed non-stack spells gonna do work here in this matchup. Which means, especially with something like Ezreal as an elusive blocker, I mean, it's not really going to pose a threat here. But again, more puff caps going in the deck there. Let's see.
You do pick up a Burblefish, though, and have that alongside the Iterative. And the second Mystic Shot in hand for Sari is an Ezreal, so might not necessarily be willing to throw that out, but without the Hexcore Foundry on field, how much do these puff caps in Chad's deck really matter?
I mean, that's a good point. That is a fair point, but the second we draw even one Hexcore Foundry, I think we're going to be in a... I don't know. I mean, because there's like two ways to go about that, right? You can either put a ridiculous amount of shrooms in without the Hexcore, or you're putting less shrooms in with the Hexcore. Obviously, Hexcore is better because it's just going to accelerate both possible strategies. But I mean, I wish I could hover the deck. I don't know exactly. Can you do it on? Oh no, you have the same. Nope, we're not going to be able to because I'm using two streams essentially now. I mean, we got to be upwards of 20, maybe 25 shrooms in deck now for the Chad. I don't know.
That sounds. I'm sure he'll hover it eventually. Yeah. Oh, we're going for the shakedown kill. It's not going to work because there's so much freeze, but I don't mind it. As long as Chad goes in with the ballistic bot at the Ezreal, the undamaged ballistic bot, or actually just going to throw out the damaged one. Both of these are susceptible to Brittle Steel, but...
Oh!
Oh, no.
Oh, the reaction of Chad there, not sending through the attack because of the rope. That feels terrible.
We gotta see one of those every couple of weeks just to make sure that players remember to respect the rope. It is almighty. It is not merciful. And it will cost you games.
Yeah, it does not care what the game state is. And yeah, this is going to be... and I think the issue is what Chad was trying to do is force the trades with these puff cap peddlers.
Yeah.
And getting them to just stick on the board is just terrible. Oh my god, this is terrible.
Yeah, that is a lot of damage missed out on. Luckily, I think that Chad is still in an okay spot for now. As we had mentioned, no Hexcore Foundry down on field.
So the big question for Chad is, can we avoid not tilting? Because, and this is a real question, because we see this all the time in tournaments. People, maybe make a misplay or make a mistake or can't pull it in time because of the rope, whatever it might be. The real challenge is settling yourself and going, all right, screw it. This is the game state we're in now. I have to deal with it. How do I come back from this? How do I take home this game? And with Mind Meld in hand, I do still think Chad very much has a chance to take this one home.
Oh, 100%. Unless... Oh, no, it's Timo. Okay. I thought it was Sejuani, and I was like, Sejuani's a problem.
Not on field currently, so I think we're fine.
Timo is a little bit more manageable, so things still looking okay for Chad here. As you had mentioned, does have that Mind Meld, and even has the double iterative to be able to get a 5-wide elusive field and go for that Mind Meld.
Yeah, and only 2 Frostbite in hand, and with Mind Meld, you could technically...
Did we drop?
Oh. I don't think so. Did we?
Oh. Okay. Well, you cut out there, and I got the silence that usually comes...
Scare me like that, Boulevard!
You were the one that's scared. Did you hear how annoyed I sound?
No, see, there's not. Everybody's already been home from work, Boulevard. We've gone through this, so the the amount of online traffic is fine now. But yeah, I think that the way Mind Meld works too. You can play the Mind Meld. That Brittle Steel really isn't going to do anything because the Mind Meld triggers after the fact, and then at that point, there's going to be too many spells to buff up that Mind Meld. You're really only going to have that one Flash Freeze. This might just be game here if we iterative improvement.
I mean,
2 elusives?
Mind Meld coupled with Playful Trickster.
Oh, yeah. That off the top is huge.
And we do have enough mana for that. Granted, we don't have a lot of elusives down, but I think that killing the Puff Cap Peddlers is going to be fine. And, of course, taking 2 combat phases is going to be okay with you anyway. And I don't know what this Mind Meld is at. I'm guessing 8.
I'm guessing
that's just a total
whatever
guess.
It is, it's probably enough. I mean, 7 is probably enough with that Playful Trickster. I mean, so many things get it done here. Sorry is going to have to, we're going to have to Mystic Shot, one of the Burblefish. Makes sense. Yeah. Fine. I don't think Chad's too worried about that.
Worth noting that the Ezreal and Ballistic bots still have Vulnerable. So we can actually pull those to the side with our non-elusive units, and 11 is a lot bigger than I expected.
It's not
and I think that means that the Playful Trickster will be lethal.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, the Flash Freeze gets rid of 1 attacker for 2 rounds, but again, pulling that Ezreal to the side, like you mentioned, means that we're going to have to sacrifice the Teemo. The other elusive, sure, gets frostbitten, but both of the other elusives going to be able to go in yet again for another attack with Playful Trickster. And this is what I was mentioning earlier on in the day, Boulevard. Playful Trickster feels oh so good when you have a Fizz on field at points like this in the game.
Yeah, all we have to do is Playful Trickster the Burblefish, and the Chad Stride will be booking a ticket to the finals.
He knows it.
Yep, gonna line it up, and that is it. Actually, hold on. Oh no, we have Poro Cannon. No, that's only 6 mana. Never mind. I was like looking at how much mana the Thermo Beam had instead of the actual just mana bar.
Don't talk Chad out of a win. Don't take this from him, Boulevard.
No. This is fine. This is fine. I misinterpreted how much mana they had. I was like, oh no, but we can kill the elusive with the Thermo Beam. But I was like, oh, but this is a Poro Cannon because it's a Fizz. But it's actually only 6, so it doesn't even matter. So Chad Stride, able to come back from that unfortunate rope interaction and pick up the win here. No Foundry on the side of Sorry, and while it's been a very popular deck, this Foundry has been fumbling in a couple of games, just not being able to get those perfect hands. It almost reminds me of Starspring in that sense, right? Like you are just this deck with a lot of moving parts that while you can win without your landmark, it doesn't happen too often. And even with the Ezreal there to supplement that, not going to be enough to take down the absolute behemoth that is Twisted Fate Fizz. And Chad Stride going to move on to meet Hellscreamer in the finals. So
all right, Chad going to make it to the first ever finals for himself. That is pretty awesome, pretty amazing feat. If there's somebody that deserves to get there, it is most certainly Chad. So pretty awesome stuff. We'll see who he takes on in the finals in the next video. If you guys like this video, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more tournament action. And as always, stay healthy, stay positive. I hope shit just works for you, and peace out.